So the Philadelphia Eagles got an ugly victory in Foxborough versus the New England Patriots. But there's more bad news. 2 key starters injured during that game. The good news, Jalen Carter, rated the best player on the Eagles. Jordan Davis, not far behind them. Plus, the running back room drama continues. And should these new coordinators be on the hot seat already? What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Talk Podcast, and today we got a lot to talk about, but Eagle Nation, let me remind you, we got the dub. Yes, there's some things we got to fix. It was an ugly dub, and we're going to break it all down. I do have some issues, but before we do that, Eagle Nation, help your boy out. Hit that like. We still are 1-0. Subscribe if you are new, and ding that bell. That way you're notified when we drop these videos, go live like we did for the game yesterday, and put out YouTube shorts. Let's get to the bad news, though. Nakobe Dean is expected to miss multiple weeks with a foot injury per rap sheet. Plus, James Bradberry is in the concussion protocol. Don't look like he will play Thursday versus the Vikings. So you're talking about down a cornerback and a linebacker. We're thin at linebacker. We did sign a former Titans linebacker. Let me know in the comment section. I forgot his name, to the practice squad. We'll see if we elevate him. Some of y'all are saying he's pretty good. His nickname is like Blade or something. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section what you think of him. But Nakobe Dean and James Bradberry will be missed. Looks like James is only going to miss one game due to the game being Thursday. But we got Addison and Justin Jefferson. They can sling the rock. They lost to Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers, but they can sling the rock. We'll talk about what we want to see during this next game. But look what Pro Football Focus said about Jalen Carter. The folks at PFF credited Jalen Carter with 8 total pressures, 1 sack, and 7 hurries on 34 pass rush snaps in his NFL debut. They also said in all of last season, there was just one Eagle player who had more than 8 pressures in a game. Hassan Reddick had 9 in Week 14 against the Giants. That's not all. According to Elliot Shore-Parks, Jalen Carter was graded, again by PFF, versus the Patriots as the Eagles' best overall player, best defender, and best pass rusher. This is coming from a guy who's a rookie and playing his first ever game. Look how unstoppable he was in this game. It's more than just the 1 sack he got versus the Patriots. Mind you, this sack was a game-saving sack. I can't believe the game came down to this close, right? We were up 16-0. It should have never came down to it. However, look at the pressures, right? Jalen Carter and this Eagles defensive line would have got more sacks. We'll talk about why we only had 2 total sacks, 1 from Jalen Carter, a half a sack from Jordan Davis, and a half a sack from Josh Sweat. But look at these. Some of these throws are incomplete because of the pressure of Jalen Carter. He's beaten mano-a-mano left and right. Look at it again. He just throws that left guard out the way. Kudos to Mac Jones being able to escape that play, but Jalen Carter was in his face all game. Watch this one. Boom. One-hand swim move. This is an incomplete swim move, gets into the face of Mac Jones, and look, the pass is incomplete solely because of Jalen Carter. Not saying he was open or not, but look at this. The guy's in his face instantly. Look at this. Slow motion, one-hand swim move. I'm in Mac Jones' face. This last one is a little sloppy via the copy, but look at this. He splits the double team here. That is splitting the double team. Not easy to do whether you're a veteran and or a rookie. He was tremendous. The Eagles' best player, according to PFF. And he had the most sacks. 1. Again, half a sack for Jordan Davis, half a sack for Josh Sweat. Let me remind you how the Bears front office looked when they got the call from Howie for the trade.
What's up? You trying to trade? Well, what would you be willing to give up? Okay, cool. Got it. Thanks, man. All right, next year's 4.
Chicago has traded in 6. Philadelphia is now on the clock. Philadelphia has submitted.
Jalen Carter, we're on the clock.
They had to say good job at the end because they knew they were getting recorded, but they looked like they regretted it back then. Now seeing Jalen Carter play, every team, I'm talking about the Seahawks, the Bears, every team is going to regret not getting him. And I don't want to not show Jordan Davis love. He had his best game according to Thomas R. Peterson. He got his first game over 30 snaps. He played in the 40s. We'll get to the snap count later in this video. But his first game over 30 snaps, he had 6 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, a forced fumble, a QB hit, a half a sack, and an 85.3 grade, which ranked 8th amongst all D tackles. We're not just talking rookie or young D tackles, every single D tackle in the NFL. And again, this play just shows so much. It shows his strength. It shows the swim move he's been working on. He said he was working with his hands. And then it shows the forced fumble. But once again, his hand placement is better. He's looking like he could rush the passer as well. But he was a big reason why the Eagles did not allow anything in the run game. Too bad that Mac Jones ended up throwing for 300 yards on us. But let's look at what Mac Jones did, right? Because he threw for 300, and on surface, it's like, dang, this defense is bad. We'll talk about Brian Johnson and Sean Desai in this video for sure. Got a little rant about that. But look, Mac Jones, despite throwing the ball for 54 attempts, he had several rollouts to extend plays. Mac Jones still had an average time to throw of only 2.5 seconds. That means that the Eagles' secondary was not doing their job. Slay even said, who had the pick 6. We'll talk about that. We just have to look at ourselves in the mirror and get bleep straight for the simple fact the secondary was not good at times. There was miscommunications all through the secondary. Watch this play right here. Avonte Maddox is supposed to run with Douglas, but he gets caught up looking at somebody else's guy, realizes that, hey, I got to go get Douglas. Now he catches up with his speed, but that's an easy completion because the communication was bad in the secondary with Sean Desai. Not good. Now here, you're going to have an Eagle favorite, Juju Smith-Schuster, motion out. Nobody picks him up. Is this Slay problem? Is it Sean Desai? I don't know. But these are chunk yards. If you go back and look, that 300-yard passing game, if you take away just the wide open players, it's not 300. Who's supposed to guard Mike Gesicki? How do you have a tight end wide open like that? We're talking 15 yards of separation. The communication is going to be bad with a new DC, right? Some new pieces in the secondary. But again, nobody watches the running back. Total disregard for certain players, and this turns into a 40-piece. There were so many of these. This touchdown was because Darius Slay cheats. Now, does Darius Slay cheat because he thought the guy was running a out route and just got beat? Or did he think there was a safety supposed to be back there? You'll never know. But between Sean Desai and these mix and match secondary pieces, right? Justin Evans, Terrell Edmonds, Reed Blankenship, not really a mix and match he played last year, but between the new pieces, Sean Desai, and playing some far back zone again. When the Eagles get a lead, he tends to do what Jonathan Gannon did and say, you know what? I'm going to give him cushion. But the communication was horrible. And I got to give that blame on Sean Desai. Now, I'm not going to crucify Brian Johnson and Sean Desai for the simple fact it's one game. One great game, one bad game doesn't make your whole career. But I got to see improvements. I got to see adjustments. That's not good. Slay, who had the pick 6, pretty much said, we got to take a look at ourselves because he knows how many wide open passes Juju, the running backs, the tight ends had via lack of communication. Now, let's look at this running back thing real quick because it was surprising to me. Kenny G was the lead back by far. Rashad Penny got healthy scratched before the game. What is that about? 41 snaps to Kenny G, 19 snaps to DeAndre Swift, 8 snaps to Boston Scott, who's also our kick returner, and again, healthy scratch for Rashad Penny, who maybe he'll play this Thursday versus the Vikings. I don't know. However, the 19 snaps to Kenny G's 41 is not the big discrepancy. In them 19 snaps, there was only one target via the pass to DeAndre Swift, which he dropped. It wouldn't have been a first down anyways. But the other big thing, in 19 snaps, he got 1 carry, 1 rush. What is going on? We thought we had 3 dynamic running backs, but we're only utilizing 1. You got to get DeAndre Swift on the field, whether it's with Gainwell, whether it's without Gainwell. I'm not saying he's automatically better runner than Gainwell, but we saw that run against the Ravens, the first one, electric. You're talking about 1 carry, 19 times on the field between Nick Sirianni, Jeff Stoutland, and the run coordinator, and Brian Johnson. You call 1 run. The 19 times Swift was on the field, embarrassing. Real quick, another embarrassing. We're going to get the game rant coming on right now, talking about Sean Desai, talking about Brian Johnson. DeAndre Swift 1 carry is ridiculous, right? Some of the run plays you forced Jalen Hurts into was ridiculous. The simple fact that Dallas Goedert played 61 of 66 snaps, played a lot of snaps, got 1 target, and 0 catches is ridiculous. Now, I know Jalen Hurts is going to take some blame because he's locked on to A.J. Brown at times, locked on the other receivers. Goedert was open a couple times. Then the one play Goedert wasn't open, he went to him. So Jalen Hurts, who did take accountability, right? This was an ugly game all around. Shout out to Slay for getting this pick 6. Shout out to Jordan Davis for forcing the fumble, because if that don't happen, who knows? This is a game that could have went either ways. However, we did get the dub, so we can't be that down in the dumps. And good teams, even when they play bad, find a way to win. The Bengals scored 3 points. Burrow had 82 yards passing. Disgusting. It's okay, though, right? Cowboys blow the Giants out, but look at Dak's stats. Not great. It's about winning, and it's about correcting the mistakes. I'd rather correct a mistake and a win, but Brian Johnson got to be better. Sean Desai got to be better with the communication. That's no if, and, or buts. But if they were lighting it up game 1, could we say we need to lock him in for 10-year contracts? No. Just the same, they made a mistake week 1. We can't talk about firing them, but we do have to keep a microscope on these guys. You got to keep a microscope on these guys. The play calling and the lack of using your dynamic weapons is not good at all. Let's hear what Jalen Hurts had to say, who's not shy from taking responsibility. He didn't have the best game, 170 yards. He did throw a touchdown to Devontae Smith. Winning is the only thing that matters, said Jalen Hurts. There are things we need to work on. I take full accountability for that, especially the fumble. He talked about the fumble a lot. However, no excuses, but Jalen Hurts was pressured on 14 of his 38 dropbacks yesterday. A brutal performance by the usually dominant Eagles offensive line. So again, let's look at the things that played bad in Sunday's matchup. Mind you, we still got to win. The O-line wasn't that great pass blocking. The O-line wasn't great run blocking. That Patriots front did a good job against our O-line. Jalen Hurts was rusty. Play calling, offensively and defensively, was rusty, right? There were some nice things Sean Desai did, but then when we get a little lead, he gives a lot of cushion. Get a little lead, gives a lot of cushion. He's been switching it up. So the communication, the play calling on defense, the play calling on offense, Jalen Hurts missing some open reads, the O-line making Jalen Hurts bail out the pocket. There was multiple things that went wrong. Shoot, we're down 2 players. Once again, not good news at all. The simple fact that Nakobe Dean left that game. Bradberry played, but he's in concussion protocol. How much did he play while suffering the symptoms? Who knows? But at the end of the day, you still got a dub. The talent prevailed with all those things. We made the Patriots make mistakes. And if, again, you look at them wide open passes, you take them away, this communication gets better between Desai and the secondary, you give up No, you don't let the guys run free like you saw in that secondary video. Then Mac Jones is only thrown for 200 yards. And we're not talking about a 300-yard thrower in week 1. Mac Jones is not the best. He's not the worst. We do see some very talented quarterbacks coming up. Howie Roseman, you might have to get on the horn for a safety. Not because of Reed Blankenship, but because Justin Evans, your starter? The other guy, Terrell Emmons, your starter? You're not even going to give Sidney Brown an opportunity? You might have to get on the horn for a safety or a linebacker. I know you brought the guy from Tennessee to the practice squad. Don't know how good he is. But we lost 2 key players. We already were short in the secondary and the linebackers. Not good. Speaking of linebackers, Reed Blankenship was among the top 5 highest graded safeties in week 1. Shout out to him. He got nicked up. He did get a touchdown scored on him, but it was good coverage, as good as you can get. It was a great throw and a great play, so I'm not mad at him. He's going to continue to excel, but we got to get his counterparter up to par. A.J. Brown said something that was interesting to me, right? Where is it at? I can't find it now. Oh, there it is. A.J. Brown said this. They were doing a lot of weird stuff in the middle, really fast, passing a lot of guys off and not really following. I took a big hit earlier in the game because they just passed it off. We just have to do a better job noticing things like that quicker. He's talking about noticing it and adjusting. Brian Johnson, Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, as a collaboration, we got to understand and come together and adjust quicker. The 4 or 5 drives where we didn't get a first down was where I was like, dang, bro, seriously? It hurt me. It hurt me. But again, you can learn. I'd rather learn with a dub. We just watched what the Cowboys did. We see how good the Niners look. We have time. We're not playing the Super Bowl tomorrow. You know what I mean? New coordinators will take time to mesh, but let's get the kinks out now. Let's get the kinks out during practice. We didn't play preseason. Week 1 was wacky, and tomorrow's not the Super Bowl. The injury front got me worried. We'll figure that out, though. Let's look at the snap count real quick before we get up out of here. D tackle, 50 snaps for Fletcher Cox, 40 snaps for Jalen Carter, 35 snaps for Jordan Davis. I said 40 snaps. I meant he played 40%. So Jordan Davis never played more than 30. Had 35 week 1, 33 snaps for Milton Williams. And if you look at edge rusher, let me pull edge rusher up, which I'm kind of upset about this. 59 snaps for Josh Sweat, 58 snaps for Hassan Reddick, 21 snaps for Brandon Graham, 16 snaps for Derek Barnett, and 7 snaps for Nolan Smith. Maybe it's because he's just getting back on injury, but I need to see Nolan Smith snaps get higher, especially over a guy like Derek Barnett. But maybe the season got to go on. Derek Barnett did make a couple nice plays. I'm going to tell the truth when I see it. Once again, the Eagles only had 2 sacks. You would think dropping back 54 times, they would have had more sacks, but it wasn't that we weren't winning our one-on-ones. It's the fact that the Eagles secondary was allowing Mac Jones to get the ball out of his hand in 2.5 seconds. And when he didn't get the ball out of his hand in 2.5 seconds, he had free wide receivers running wide open. Again, the communication got to get better. Our secondary, Slay, Bradberry, and Maddox, should not allow this, right? Every once in a while, you're going to have a mixed mistake in communication, but not this many times. It's like 5 plays, 5 big plays. That was 30 yards right there, right? So that was 30 yards right there. This one is like dang near 25. The running back one was like 40. So again, you're talking about 130, 140 yards of just wide open receivers for Mac Jones. So when you nip this little stuff in the bud, well, we should be able to do what we need to do. Sean Desai, Brian Johnson, y'all got some work to do. However, the Eagles are 1-0. 1-0 is still 1-0. Cowboys 1-0. Commanders 1-0. Eagles 1-0. Giants 0-1. That's a lot of yards right there. With that being said, get the merch. We got the Air Hurts. Listen, some people are bad-mouthing Jalen Hurts in our own fan base off of 1 game. If you still rock with Hurts like you should, He's still a dog. Watch what he does against the Vikings. 300 plus. Get your Air Hurts shirts. Get your Philly Dog shirts. Get your Philly Dog hats. Link in the description and the pinned comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Drop the muscle emoji. This was a very long video just because ugly win, but a win itself. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I love hearing from you, whether it's live or recorded videos. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.